Just to wet your whistle, I have one funny. That's the funny. Patton Oswalt. Anybody like Patton Oswalt in there? Ghostface, what's your favorite scary movie? He says, well, I just binged the works of Armando de Osario. His quartet of blind dead films started with the Spanish horror boom of the 70s. What they lack in characterization, they make up for in mood. Plus, Ghostface is like Jesus, and he hangs up. They at the beginning of Scream 5, they started talking about what they called elevated horror, and that just sent the internet in a frenzy. Everybody freaked out. How dare you call it elevated? Kyle, he says, Lee, are you more excited for Deadpool or Alien this year? Definitely Alien. Maybe that's the horror fan in me. I like the Deadpool movies. The first two are really funny. I'm gonna be there day one. It's gonna be fun, but it just looks like more of the same to me. You know what I mean? And that's not to knock Deadpool. I think Deadpool's needed. That's a brand of comic book movie that we don't see that often. The hard R-rated, joke cracking, superhero, and that's what Deadpool does. But this is Alien, okay? And I'm an Alien fanatic. All right, Alien's my number 2 favorite franchise. So Fede Alvarez is directing this thing. It's got nowhere to go but down for me. It looks amazing from that trailer. So, if I could, right now, that you could watch Deadpool or you could watch Alien, that's an easy choice. But, Deadpool, I'm definitely looking forward to it. It's going to be fun, and I'm hoping it has some nice surprises. We'll see. So, all right, let's jump over to the Scream, I guess, rumor. And I know I shouldn't be giving this guy any kind of publicity, but that's what he's doing, and a few people have ran with it, including me, so I'm part of the problem, but why not? Fuck it. There's a reason I'm talking about this too, though, and we'll get there in just a sec, okay? Karma's a bitch. That's the X handle. It says, according to Spyglass CEO Gary Barber, Scream 7 opens with the final scene of Scream 6 and then zooms out of Gail's laptop as a page written by her, confirming Scream 5 and 6 were a new fiction book she wrote. Dewey is still alive and they're still married in New York. Let that percolate for a little bit, okay? Do you guys think that's real, first of all? Do you guys really think that's real? And, I think a lot of YouTubers, horror outlets, they'll see stuff like this that has a lot of clicks. Like that right there has 1.6 thousand likes, probably a lot more by now. And if it's got that many clicks, it must be news, right? It must be true. But there's no unless you guys know something I don't, there's no official source for any of this. Outside of this guy, there's nothing. Even an unofficial source, even a joeschickenShack.com. There's none of it. There's just nothing but this guy posting nonsense. And, anybody could come up with that in their head, I'm like, what if Gail, because she's a writer, what if she wrote 5 and 6, Scream 5 and 6, right? So that's an easy thing to come up with, I guess. But, this guy, and I'm not saying, let me read it one more time. According to Spyglass CEO Gary Barber. So there you go, right there. That first line, he's coming out swinging. This is true. This is definitely happening. And, this is the world we live in today with news, or quote unquote news. Back in the 90s, 80s, before the internet boom, before social media. Usually, if you got any kind of news, it was from I remember I would read it from a magazine, like a horror mag or something like that, and that's where I get any kind of news that was coming up. I remember when Halloween H2O, the first time I saw a little news blurb about, and they called it Halloween 7. Halloween H2O didn't exist. Jamie Lee Curtis wasn't even a part of it yet, and I saw it in one of those magazines. It might have been Fangoria, something like that. I think it was Fangoria, but yeah, they were saying, yeah, it's up and running. Halloween 7 starts shooting soon, blah, blah, blah. And, you took that to the bank because it was like an official source. But now anybody can go on. I mean, there's so many X sites, and they pretty much just post whatever their favorite horror property. Like I'm not saying this guy does that, but there are pages out there that are just exclusively for Halloween. And so they grow because they'll post like a little poll every day or something like that. How do you feel about Halloween Ends? They'll compare 2 movies. Every day they got to post. And their views and their clicks just get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And what they're doing is fine. But then you'll have some of these sites that they'll start saying, hey, you know what? Maybe I'm getting a little bit of an audience here. Why don't I just make up my own news? Right. So that's what they do. You know what? Gail's a writer. I'll just make up something. The Spyglass CEO, there's a lot of controversy around him and Melissa Barrera. So, why don't I just do that and see what kind of traction I can get? And, sure enough, a lot of people, especially like your Joe and Jane Sixpack, they're going to take that to the bank. They're going to think that's the truth. They're not going to research that, and research doesn't take that long. Honestly, I start looking for the source, right? Where did it come from? The source. And if I can't find it, then I start calling shenanigans. And so, but, this guy, he attained his goal. He doesn't care if he's lying or not, He doesn't give 2 shits. He just wants to get people stirred up, right? Get people talking. That's the goal. To maybe even reach Spyglass. So now I can say, what if a little bit of this was the truth that this guy obviously doesn't know, but or maybe he does know, I don't know. But what if a little bit of this was the truth behind the scenes, and like the Spyglass CEO, sees some of this, and maybe he was planning this. Does that make them rethink their strategy, especially if they're like, quite a few, months into the process? Then it can get a little bit scary, But Scream news. I think there's more Scream rumors and Scream just made up bullshit than actual Scream news, right? Scream, I think Scream might be bigger than Halloween in terms of news. Like, people really jump on that bandwagon when it comes to Scream. They want, because Scream's a franchise where it's a whodunit and you can speculate for days. Whereas like Halloween, it's big, but you can only speculate so much. It's Michael Myers and we know who Michael Myers is and that's it. But Scream, there's, 47 different routes that they can take for the story, right? And they could take the things that we know, like Neve Campbell is back. We know that. And we know that Melissa Barrera is not back. But outside of that, what else do we know, really? We don't really know that much. And maybe you guys know more than I do. I don't know. I'm not one of these guys that goes searching, under 5 different levels of news. And I don't have like that many inside sources. I don't go looking for inside sources, if I'm being honest. And there's some people that's their bag. They love doing that. Hey guys, I just heard from a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who's very credible. Okay, very credible. And I can tell you right now that Stu is in this movie. I don't do that. I just don't do that. It's not I don't get like excited about that. Plus, I like going into these Scream movies not knowing anything. The last Scream movie was spoiled for me. There was this idiot asshole who was going around and DMing a lot of people the spoilers for the end of Scream 6. And just really going hard in the paint, trying to spoil it for everybody. And I'm just like, why would you do, like, why are you such an asshole? Why do you want to ruin fun for other people? And I don't have an answer for that. Some people, they're just sad and they're lonely, and this is what gets them any kind of attention. And there's no such thing as bad attention to some people. They just want attention. They want to piss people off. They don't care. They're like the Joker. They want to watch the world burn, right? And we just, if you don't want to know anything about Scream, then you pretty much have to, once everything gets going, you have to turn your internet off. That's because there's no way I could avoid it. I mean, this guy, he literally posted 5 times in a row, tagging me on Twitter. And it was one of those things where I looked and I saw it and I was like, shit. I'd already seen too much. And I could never, ever do that to anybody. I don't know what makes people want to do that. I don't know. Maybe it's easy, maybe that's what it is. Working for something is hard. Creating something is hard, and destroying and pissing people off, it's actually an easy thing to do. It really is. So I don't want to get on my soapbox, and I don't want to preach at you. But, yeah, so that's why I wanted to do this, to just kind of call this asshole out. Just because, unless he has a source, but he wasn't like forthcoming or anything with any kind of source. So all that does is just get people in a tizzy, right? Now let's act like let's act like this was an actual source, okay? Now, how do you guys feel about this? If let's just pretend that this was from, Bloody Disgusting, okay? This was official. Although I don't know why. That's kind of a big spoiler, right? But spoiler-wise, would they have to and I'm just thinking out loud here, would this information be something that you would want in marketing? I don't know the answer to that. Or would you want this to be a surprise? I guess that's what the answer would be. I guess you would want it to be a surprise. But then you're going to piss a lot of people off. I mean, can you imagine going into Scream 7 and right away at the beginning of the movie that happens? And from what I noticed on X, there were a lot of people that were happy with this idea. A lot of people were just like, yeah, I didn't like 5 and 6. I didn't really care for 5 and 6 either, but it's not about the movie. I think that's just not a good way to do business, to just completely wipe out the last 2 movies, considering everything that went on with Melissa Barrera. And maybe I'm a little bit too sensitive about Melissa Barrera. I don't know. At the end of the day, do I care that much? No, but I just think it's an ugly way to do business, to completely shut the door on Sam as a character like that. And plus, I think there's other ways you could do it, right? I think if there's a 1% opportunity for Sam and Tara to come back down the road, then why not let that door stay open? Why would you go that route? So I'm thinking this is definitely not true. I mean, that's a slap in the face, if you ask me. So I don't think that's the truth. There was this, I was talking back and forth with this guy on X today. And he was saying, and this is where I'm going to ask you guys, okay? What if they recast Melissa Barrera? And he even had a name for me. He said, what if they had Zendaya come back, and let's say Sam, she's supposed to be in the next movie. Do you think that's a good idea or a bad idea to recast Sam as with somebody like, say, Zendaya? Okay. I think that's a horrible idea. And they do recast from time to time. And I'll even say, even when they do it, I don't like it. I prefer, for continuity's sake, to actually have the actress that's in there. And I think that would just be the like an ultimate slap in the face to Melissa Barrera, who loves the character of Sam. If it's an actor or actress that, like, you could say like Harrison Ford, he's not the biggest fan of Han Solo. Sometimes I feel like he doesn't really give a shit about Han Solo. Although you definitely do not want to recast that. But I'm just giving an example. If the actor really just doesn't care about a character, and it's apparent, and the character's not that big, then yeah, maybe. But I think it's always a bad idea. And in this situation, it's like doubly bad. I don't think you should ever do that. Okay? To give him a shout out though, his ex name was I got it right here. Hold on. Bologna and something. Hold on. I think it's bologna and sausage. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, here it is over here. Just to give him a shout out. It is Tacos and Bologna. Okay, that's his channel or his handle name on X. Tacos and Bologna. Okay. Some people have the weirdest freaking handle names. But he sounds like he's a big Zendaya fan, and he's like more than happy for Zendaya to come back. And he was asking me, "You don't think Zendaya would do a good job?" And I was like, "No, it's not about that. I'm sure Zendaya would do a fantastic job, but that's not the point. The point is you got an actress who loves a character who would happily come back, and then you're just gonna like, throw dirt in her face, I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye." What's up, guys? You are at the end of the DD Live clip. What I do is I like to clip these out if I think the topic is important or something that's newsworthy. So thank you for watching, and if you want to watch more, you can go over here. You can go over here, click on one of those, and hopefully I can do this for 20 seconds, which I think I did. Okay, so yeah, thanks for watching, guys.